away. Your job's a joke you broke, your love life's the away. It's like you're always stuck in second gear, when it hasn't been your day, your week, your month, or even your year. But I'll be there for you when the rain starts to fall. I'll be there for you like I've been there before. I'll be there for you 'cause you're there for me too.
I really don't know about this one, you guys. I mean, after last episode, I'm more afraid of having my mind break from these bad monkey films. Granted, it's been forever since I've actually seen this movie. From what I remember and what everyone is saying about it, I'm kinda scared too. Especially after that atrocity of a movie, Space Chimps. But it must be done. Today we look at another 20th Century Fox original, Dunston Checks In. I really have my doubts about this, especially considering how much crap these guys have put out. Do you really think this movie will be any good? I sure as hell don't. But before I continue on, let me say a little something about the animal buddy system. Now in films like Old Yeller, we get a character who goes through problems growing up or whatnot, in which they then receive an animal companion to attach to, and even go through life together. It doesn't matter what animal the person has, whether it be a dog, a cat, a killer whale, a horse, they're all meant to give the character a chance to grow and develop. Now, this movie is kinda like that, but with a monkey. Just remember what I said on how they're mostly used for comedic relief, as you're gonna get that. A lot. Let's begin. So we start off with hotel attendants setting up for the daily grind as we learn that this movie is taking place in the Majestic Hotel. Which one, I'm not sure. Here we're shown the comedic torture victim of the film, Mr. Spaulding, as well as one of our main characters, Kyle Grant, played by the Santa Claus kid himself, Eric Lloyd.
20. I'm in position. Found our target. You should see this lady who checked it. She weighs about 1,000 pounds.
That's a physical impossibility. And stay focused, we're on a mission here.
Boys will be boys. Anyway, Kyle's brother here, Brian, happens to be Graham Sack, who apparently has nothing much to his film career, and I think I know why. Ha! So you were in Dunston Checks In and Pigtail? Ha ha! Yeah, you're not getting into this film. So apparently the two boys are trying to help one of the bellhops out by playing a prank, but it backfires, causing mayhem to ensue.
Better get out of here till things cool down, Kyle.
Gotcha.
Now for our rendition of Ring.
Better split up, Kyle.
Clean up in toiletware. Anyway, we meet the father of the two boys, Robert, played by Jason Alexander, who you might know as George from Seinfeld. He's also the manager of the hotel and will do anything to make sure his guests are happy.
Dr. Sultanov. He's one of the finest pet psychologists in the city. Please mention my name, and I'm sure he'll see Neil right away.
Well, thank you, Mr. Grant.
Hey, I wouldn't mind having him giving me free stuff. So naturally, he's upset. But really, do you have to go as far as using the knife in the back analogy? This is a family movie, after all.
And if you two do anything to foul up the crystal ball, I am going to be skewered, roasted, and served as dead duck flambe. So unless you two prefer moving from a five-star hotel to a trailer park, we will have no further disturbances.
Well, you could always be a marine biologist. Of course, the point to all this is that in a week, they get to go to Barbados for a vacation. Ironic, considering they work in a hotel and they'll be the guests for once. But I have a feeling parental disappointment will occur and they won't even get to go.
But until that time, you're both grounded.
What?
Oh, and apparently they live in the hotel. Wait. Two brothers living in a hotel with their single parent, causing all sorts of trouble without as much as getting kicked out. Is this the precursor to the sweet life of Zack and Cody?
Here I am in your life, here you are in mine. Yes, we have a sweet life, most of the time.
So as Brian goes to get some checks, Kyle eyes on a large suitcase, which is making noises at him, when he's confronted by the villain of the film, Lord Rutledge, played by Rupert Everett. Rupert, huh? Where have I seen you last?
'tis I, upon my regal steed, princess, with might, with soft and bouncy hair.
Oh.
Would you like to see a little trick, eh?
Okay.
You know, I can do all sorts of tricks. Do you know what my speciality is?
No.
I can make nosy little boys disappear.
Well, he certainly got scary adults down. So what is inside the box anyway?
Monkey!
Folks, meet Sam the orangutan. He'll be playing our comic relief monkey of the film, Dunston. Anyway, it turns out that Rutledge is a master thief who plans on robbing the hotel of all its valuables. Part of the plan involves a bellhop costume, but where does Dunston fit in all of this? Especially when he's the comic relief monkey.
Well, I'm a liberal parent. Have it your own way. Go to your room!
Spare the rod and spoil the monkey.
To brow alert.
Brow alert.
The brow alert!
Ah, I see. This must be the call for the I'm a prick character, Ilana Dubrow. I wonder what she and her husband are doing here.
Fluffy towels.
I beg your pardon?
Read the cards, Robert. You got to keep up on the cards so you know what our guests want.
The Lamond people have decided to award a 6th star.
Oh, you mean the imaginary star rating that exists primarily for advertising and doesn't really have meaning? Well, in this film, it seems this hotel might get one. For it turns out, one of the guests happens to be from Lamond, and if they get good service, the hotel will get a 6th star. In addition, Robert has to stick around for photos, which means no vacation for him and the family. See? I knew that disappointment would come for them soon.
He's a big, scary guy with a huge trunk and lots of stickers. So keep an eye out for him, okay?
You bet, kid.
This one really liked me.
Oh goody, Brian's a pervert. Ah, now I get it. You sneak into the rooms, leave a marker on the unlocked windows, then have Dunston climb the building so he can sneak in and grab all the possessions. That's actually good thinking as long as your monkey is willing to do all this. Also, it seems that he wasn't always a thief. As from the picture of Dunston here, they used to be performers from the looks of things, and there was a second orangutan named Samson who I guess was his father. Whatever caused him to go criminal like that is something that will hopefully be explained. What won't be is the suit. Spider Monkey does whatever a spider monkey can. Meanwhile, Kyle is tasked with walking Mr. Spaulding's dog Neil.
Man on the moon. I love the astronauts, don't you?
Please don't mention astronauts around me. I just got off of Space Chimps. So after 2 minutes of making a mess and stealing the valuables, we find Kyle on the roof with Neil. Now, tell me dogs aren't stupid enough to fall off of buildings like that. I'm just asking. That's how I feel of the situation. Father gets angry and for no reason punishes Brian, unless it's tied to the security room deal, then okay, in addition to Kyle. But we'll have to hold off on that. There's been a robbery.
What about his punishment?
Think of something you really like. You got it?
Yeah.
Know that!
No more Super Nintendo? Anyway, Rutledge tries to get Dunston to hand over the valuables, but of course Dunston's acting like any monkey would.
You remember what happened to your brother, don't you?
Ah, I see. That was his brother. Well, I was close.
Behaving like a wild animal.
Well, what did you expect? You can't exactly tame something that isn't normally domesticated, in this case, an orangutan! We now cut away from escaped convict to somewhat touching father-son moment.
You still say goodnight to Mom?
Yeah. That's not stupid or anything, is it?
No, pal. It's not stupid at all.
This has been your father-son moment. We now go back to your plot. So after a rather strange scene in which Kyle uses the bathroom while Dunston pulls on his Spider-Man doll, Kyle finally realizes...
Dad! There's a gorilla in the bathroom!
And when Father once again fails to grasp any sense, he suggests TV would be a good way to sleep. What, you're gonna bore him with some old film? Why not just show him reruns of Days of Our Lives? That will do the trick. Of course, Kyle does the smart thing of leaving a camera in the laundry bin while luring Dunston with some fruit. But sadly, he finds it and, well, he eats the camera. Oh, and, he's gonna sleep with Dad tonight.
Alright. You can sleep with me tonight if you're still scared, but just tonight.
Why are you on top of him like that? So Kyle gets Brian to help him track down the so-called gorilla by lowering him down through the laundry chute. And eventually Dunston shows up to screw around.
What are you doing up there? Excuse me, but,
He's certainly a funny monkey, trying to kill whoever's down there. Oh. Just then Rutledge shows up and there goes Brian! After some Home Alone antics, Dunston jumps on Kyle, knocking them both down as well.
where are we going?
Ah, so he's taking refuge here now. You know, at this point in the film, I'm not even upset or completely angry at the things that happened so far. I mean, yeah, it's just average stuff that isn't anything spectacular, but honestly, this is pretty tame stuff so far.
Gee, thanks. Dunston? Don't worry. No one's gonna hurt you. I promise.
Yeah. So Kyle tries to move Dunston to a safer location, but runs into Lord of the Lane.
Room service.
Thankfully, Dunston disappeared. But where to? Oh, I see. I wonder what kind of trouble he can cause this time. Well, I'm sure it involves Mr. Spaulding, since he's our torture victim.
All your riggers and all your party chickens, everybody's in the funky blowout. You know where set sail from just around.
Yeah, this is lame. Dunston, do you mind?
Let's have a ball.
Thank you.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get that special oil.
Don't be long.
Paging Dr. Dunston. Patient needs care from the love monkey.
Oh. I didn't hear you come in. Yes. Oh, William, you are amazing. Ouch. Oh.
Good thing she doesn't know that's a monkey that's about to rape her.
Oh, William.
And speaking of strange sexual behavior...
Elaine, what are you doing?
And unfortunately, no matter how much Kyle says so, Dad won't believe him, and even gets him to apologize to Rutledge. Poor kid. All he ever wanted was to help a friend. Anyway, Robert goes to have a meeting with an old pair of ladies when he finally notices Dunston.
Call security, get him up here ASAP. Everybody. And then call the best animal control person in the city. Nancy. Call Kyle and, apologize for me.
Do it yourself, you douche! You're the father around here! Also, those are some pretty good windows if they can block out the sounds of you being attacked. Anyway, with the situation at hand, it's time to call in Buck from Animal Control. Or just get Paul Rubens.
You've got an orangutan problem, Mr. Grant.
Where did he come from?
Well, ma'am, when two orangutans fall in love...
Stop! I don't want to hear it, especially from you, Pee-wee Herman. Even when you're trying to sound serious, the dialogue contradicts everything you're going for.
You think it might be cute to put a baby orangutan in your kid's basket. Well, at first it is cute, then it gets bigger. The kids lose interest. And then one night, you flush it down the toilet.
It's just a monkey, man.
Dad, why does he have a gun?
I'll tell you later. Hey. Sorry I didn't believe you.
He wants to save the monkey, not kill it. If you'd listen, you'd come to him sooner. So Kyle gets to Dunston just as Buck arrives.
Get off.
Kyle for something completely different.
Hey! Hey! Little baby gorilla! You're mine! You're mine! You're mine! He said my name! He said my name!
I know, but come on, I had to. So thanks to Kyle, Buck misfires and Dunston gets away. However, Kyle finds out that Dunston's injured and takes him back to his room. And surprisingly, Brian isn't at all shocked by the appearance of the monkey.
Kyle, if I'm gonna do this, you're gonna have to hold him.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. You look like a monkey and you act like one too.
This movie forces a lot of touching moments, and yet I can't think of anything funny to say about it. How is that possible? So with Brian's help, they manage to secure Dunston his own room in order to hide him from everyone. Back with Robert, he's told by Alina to keep the boys in their room for the crystal ball since she thinks Rutledge is the man from Lamone.
That there will be no further incidents. As of this moment, they are both on their best behavior.
Funny how irony works.
2 banana splits, extra bananas on each, and a Caesar salad with extra bananas as well.
I have to wonder, how much will this cost them by the time the movie is over? I hate to see the guy they impersonated just end up broke after all this. Oh, time for something bad to happen to Mr. Spaulding. Well, anything good ever happen to him? So the day of the ball comes and Dad is making sure everything is perfect. Really perfect. Did I mention we only have 20 minutes left in this movie? Looking up porn again, I see?
Room service, word search, banana. Well, Dr. Nagok, either you've got a potassium deficiency or I think we might be in business.
Where did he ever come to the conclusion that Kyle might be holding Dunston up as a guest? Considering everything that's going on, why would you think they would go for that plan? And what do you know, his hunch came true.
Say goodbye to your friend. He just became an even more endangered species.
You evil, dirty bastard.
Go on then. Give Daddy a big hug. Look on the bright side. You'll be joining your brother very soon.
Run, Dunston, run! Run like the wind! So after all this time, he still can't anticipate Dunston's actions. As Rutledge gets pulled into the crystal ball, Kyle takes Dunston into a secret dumbwaiter, why is it behind a painting, where they eventually get to the first floor. However, Buck's bloodhound catches wind of him, which causes him to end up at the ball. And apparently no one can notice the orangutan that's running at their feet. Eventually Kyle finds Brian and informs him about Rutledge before showing their dad the picture he found.
It's a picture of Lord Rutledge and 2 monkeys.
Dude, that guy looks familiar. So now Robert's in on the situation, and once again we see Mr. Spaulding about to be the victim of misunderstanding. Though to be fair, I find it funny since it's from someone who happens to be from PETA. Just watch.
That is how they do it to poor little bunny rabbits.
Oh, this is horrifying.
Why can't we treat all creatures with kindness and respect?
He only wants to enjoy his stay at the hotel. Why won't you let him? So Rutledge captures Dunston, Robert pursues him, and of course Rutledge tries to threaten him with a knife.
I think you are slightly outnumbered.
What?
Cowards! So after Kyle takes Dunston away, Robert and Rutledge have a pussy fight. Which is kind of funny, if not for the champagne bit.
No! That's the Chantal Lafitte. Yes, well.
Gee, how's the party going? Okay, the gag died out after the spa incident. Just kill the joke already and stop abusing him for God's sake. Anyway, the epic kitchen battle finally starts to wind down, all thanks to Brian, as Dunston saves Kyle from the wrath of Alina through the power of cake.
You're fired. Go home and burn your resumes because you'll never work in this hotel business again. Don't.
Great, now I can become that marine biologist.
Fire
Mrs. DeBrow, I'm Lionel Spaulding from the Le Mans Traveler Organization.
Ah, now I see the point of abusing him. He's from Le Mans, so he has to be upset in order to make him say this.
You've managed to go from a 5-star hotel to a 1-star hotel.
So Rutledge gets arrested, Robert makes amends with his kids, and Mr. Dubrow helps them keep their job and even sends them to the Majestic Hotel in Bali, where hopefully Robert can be with his kids more. Also, it seems Dunston has a family now, and uh-oh, Mr. Spaulding's here. You know what that means.
In addition, our native chef is available by
Well, that's Dunston for you. And you know, it wasn't the movie I thought it would be. I was expecting over-the-top insanity, but this movie's quite tamed when compared to that other monkey monstrosity. That's not to say this movie is any real good, but it's relatively harmless for kids. I mean, the characters come off as generic, the humor hit and miss, and standard acting all across the board. But it's not to the point where you could lose your mind from how dumb it is, for it's pretty enjoyable to a degree. I wouldn't recommend it, but if you have children, it wouldn't hurt to show them. It has enough humor and heartwarming scenes to where it breaks even, and that's all fine. Well, that takes care of that. I'm the Media Hunter, bringing you movies straight from the wild.
All aboard that funk boat that I'm about to start sailing now. All your riggers and all your party chickens, everybody's in the funky blowout.
I was just trying to do my job. It was nothing personal. Do you believe me?
Okay, good. I don't even like him anyway.